Hello everybody, this is Karen from Blue Rooster Farm, and today I'm bringing you along as I make a Waldorf salad. I was just making this for dinner and thought I'd just go ahead and turn the camera on so that you could see this process too. So what I have here are some English walnuts, and they were whole, so I'm just breaking them up just a little bit. We still want them to be pretty chunky, but I'm breaking them up, and I've got a glass. That's actually a lid, but it can be used as kind of a plate too. And I'm going to get these walnuts roasted in the microwave. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in there for about a minute on high, and then I'll check it, and we'll see me doing that throughout this video. Now, a Waldorf salad is several different fruits and nuts, and then a neat dressing, a creamy dressing on it. So what I'm doing here is taking some apples, and I'm just coring and slicing, and I'll chunk them up here in a minute. I'm leaving the skins on because the skins are great for you. They make the salad really pretty. So I'm cutting these all up, and you'll see me dicing them into smaller pieces in just a minute. But a Waldorf salad has a creamy dressing that is kind of a sweet, but with a little lemon juice in it. And it's full of fruits and nuts, and it's just a refreshing summer salad. It could be eaten as an end of the dinner dessert, or it could be eaten as a side. And tonight we're going to just eat it as a side with our pork. So I've got my apples just about sliced up here. And you'll notice I have a bucket up there at the corner. And I always have this bucket handy if I'm processing or chopping up fruits and vegetables, because I put all my scraps in that bowl, and then I take them to our back room where we have a large dish pan that we put the scraps in. And then at the end of the day, my husband takes them out and we put them on the garden, or if they're food items that the animals would like, we give them to the animals. So I'm putting those apples right into that bucket right there. Now I checked the walnuts, and they were getting warm, but they weren't roasted yet, so I put them in for another minute. Okay, so here I am slicing them into smaller pieces. Now you'll notice that I have a really big bowl, and I like, anytime I am making a salad or a casserole or something that needs to be stirred together, I like to use a big bowl and then put whatever I had made in a smaller bowl after I've mixed it up. That way, food won't be falling out of the bowl as I'm mixing and trying to incorporate all the ingredients. I've just found it works a lot easier that way. So I use this bowl a lot. It's just an enamel bowl that I had picked up somewhere. It's not an old one, it's a new one, but it's just so handy. And I don't know what kind of apples these were. You'll want to get an apple that you would want to eat. So, if you don't like tart apples, don't get a tart apple. Make sure it's crispy still. You don't want to eat something that's, um, aged. A lot of times, I'll take apples that are a little softer and make applesauce or fried apples or something with it, because that's fine. They get cooked down and softened anyway, but this is not going to be cooked, so you want to find crispy, good tasting apples. So I'm checking the English walnuts again, and I popped one in my mouth to taste, and it's just not quite there, so I'm going to do 30 seconds more, and when you pull it out, be sure you stir it around so there's no hot spots. Next thing I'm doing, I'm taking some table grapes, and these are just some red grapes, seedless, and I'm just going to cut them in half. And you can use as many grapes as you want. If you favor the grapes and don't like the apples, you can go a little more on the grapes and a little less on the apples. There's no set number of or cups of anything that you need for my recipe here. It's up to your taste. And my husband and I both enjoy apples and grapes, so I'll just put whatever I have there that needs to be sliced up. This is going to be just for my husband and I this evening, but this is a salad that will last many days in the refrigerator, so we'll just eat on it all through the week, and it'll just be great for lunches or dinners, or even if you wanted to have it for breakfast, it would be good too. It would be healthy. And there I am just showing you how you just slice the grape in half. I think I've just about gotten enough. Get a few more. And finish slicing those. I hope all of you are doing well this spring and getting your plants in your garden. We've been out working in our garden, and I'm going to be putting out some videos of our garden and things that we're growing in our garden, so I hope you enjoy seeing that. It'll be nice when we start getting our own apples off of our apple trees. It looks like as of right now, we have lots of apples out there. Hopefully the weather will cooperate this summer. I do need to get out there and thin them out though, because there's an awful lot of them on the trees, and if I don't, we'll have tiny apples. Okay, I'm checking these walnuts again, tasting it. Making sure the pieces are decent sized. And I think it's done, so I'm going to set it aside and let it just cool off just a little bit. Don't want to put them in really hot. We don't want to heat up our salad. The next thing I have here is I have some celery, and I know I told you in another video that if you have some celery or broccoli that is not quite as crispy as you'd like it, it's really easy to crisp it up. I just cut it in these it's one stalk. I just cut it into 4 pieces and just put it in ice water, and just as I got everything out and started making this video, it crisped up in just those few minutes. So now I've got my knife there and I'm chopping it into small pieces, just something that would be comfortable eating. Get all of them in there. So we have our apples, grapes, and celery in there. This is just regular raisins. Sometimes I use craisins if I have craisins. I had a few, but I didn't have enough, and I thought I'll just use the raisins. We had plenty raisins. Now we're going to make the dressing for the Waldorf salad. Set everything aside there, get it straightened up. So the first thing I use is some yogurt, and this is just vanilla yogurt, and this is a really small little individual serving size. So I'm just putting that vanilla yogurt in there. Then I'm looking, and I'm going to add some real mayonnaise, not Miracle Whip, but real mayonnaise. And this is a light one. You can use regular or light. The one thing with these squeeze bottles, you do have to get it at the bottom of the bottle in order for it to come out. So you've got to keep shaking it and getting it to squeeze out. And I'm not exact on measurements. I would say equivalent amounts of the mayonnaise and the yogurt. And again, if you were making more Waldorf salad, you would want to make more of the dressing. So just getting that stirred together. And then I'm going to add a little bit of cream, just heavy cream. And I think I added about, 3 tablespoons to a quarter cup. And I think probably at this point that's just a little over a cup of the dressing in my measuring cup. I'm just whisking it up so it gets stirred up well. Then I've got some sugar, and I think it's just about a big tablespoon that I put in. You can add more or less depending on your taste. And then some lemon juice, and I add about a tablespoon of lemon juice, and this does a really good job of keeping the apples from browning, and it also makes this dressing taste really fresh. It almost tastes like a cheesecake filling. Now, if you didn't have cream, you wouldn't have to use cream. If you didn't have mayonnaise, you could leave the mayonnaise out. If you didn't have yogurt, you could leave that out. You could use all yogurt, all mayonnaise, all cream, and just add the sugar and the lemon juice. But I find the best taste comes from all three. Okay, I'm putting the cooled walnuts. I guess they're probably warm walnuts at this point. Into the bowl, giving it a stir, and pouring my dressing over the top. Okay, making sure we get all of that dressing onto the fruit. It's too good to waste. If you find that you don't have enough of the dressing, you can always make some more, or just add a little more cream or yogurt or mayonnaise to your bowl. Now here's where that big bowl comes in handy. I'm able to coat all of that, all the fruits in that bowl very easily. See that I have everything coated. And then one thing that we like to add is just about a cup of little miniature marshmallows. And I started adding these when my sons were young. They really liked the marshmallows in there, and would eat all of the fruits and the things very quickly because they felt like it was a treat, like a dessert. So some marshmallows in there to give it a little bit of a sweetness. And those marshmallows will soften up as they set. So now I'll get that smaller bowl with a lid, and I will just pour these fruits that are all mixed up with the dressing on it into that bowl so that it can be refrigerated and all the flavors can blend and be ready for dinner time. So we'll just put the lid on it and put it in the refrigerator. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you watching and hope that you have a great week. Take care.